Today I learned that for the deep learning project, training of a deep learning model that I worked on with my colleague, for the models to be good enough, it required 700 annotation hours by pathologists, 700 of pathologist work. And most of us, we were doing this on the computer, which is not the most efficient way of drawing, because this is what it is. Doing pathology annotations is drawing on the screen. A lot more efficient way of drawing is to draw on a tablet, and this is what I have for you today. It's a tablet that I'm gonna be unpacking and checking out with you. So when I started my digital pathology journey, I worked for a digital pathology company where a lot of my work was providing annotations. And when I started, there was a huge Wacom tablet, like the hugest, the biggest that Wacom had in their portfolio of tablets that I was able to use, and I loved it. It was just like, it was my third screen of a computer. I had this annotation station. I would get in the zone, put the headphones on, and like annotate, sometimes hours at a time. But then I changed jobs and never bought this piece of equipment for myself. Maybe I will at some point. But for now, I decided to try something a little bit more affordable. This tablet called Wacom Pen Display was about $350 in comparison to the Wacom one that I remember that is over $2,000. So if you have been watching the DigiPath Digest, I promised myself and you that, okay, if we do 10 DigiPath Digests, which if you haven't watched it, check it here in the video. So this is a weekly live stream that I host on Friday mornings where we discuss the newest digital pathology literature. We go through abstracts, and what I do, I annotate the PDFs, like basically highlight, write something, make it more memorable, more interactive, right? And I said, okay, after 10 episodes, I'm buying myself a tablet. And then I didn't buy it, and that was the worst episode because internet just failed me. But anyway, now I bought it, and let's unpack this thing here. So for supervised deep learning, annotations are still crucial. There's still a lot of pathology work going into it, and often this work is just like gone with the model. Those annotations are never interoperable between softwares, and I wish that wasn't the case. In some softwares, for example, Aperio, you can export them, and there is a tutorial how to annotate in Aperio image scope. I think you can also export them from QuPath, and there's going to be another tutorial for that. But most of the time you are locked into a software, you provide hours of annotations, and then those annotations get sunken into this model and are never to be recovered, or at least there's no attempt to recover them or to treat it as data, as a separate set of data. It's rather labor that cannot really be recovered. And at least that has been for several projects I was part of. Now there are companies that are actually providing a service such as medical data annotation, medical image annotation. So I assume they actually store their annotations because then they can reuse them. But for the projects I was part of, annotation was once and done, and then you have to redo them. So of course there are rules how to annotate for consistent models, and there is another video about that. But basically the rule is you need to be consistent. You need to know what you want to annotate, meaning, okay, what structure exactly am I annotating? The annotate class needs to be pure, because if you mix pixels from different classes, then your model is going to get confused. Although maybe in the nearest future, we will not need to annotate, because foundation models, although many of them also include annotations, will take care of everything, or weak labeled deep learning, which is based on reports and not on pixel level annotations. But I believe that there's gonna be a transition time, meaning for the next couple of years, we're still gonna be annotating. So why not annotate on a device that's actually ergonomic and designed for annotations, like the Wacom. Here. Hi, Gaomon. Let's check it out. It's pretty big. So it has a battery-free pen, and I'm gonna show everything to you. Resolution HD, so 1920 times 1080. I want it to be my second screen. I want it to be, I'm gonna take you to my YouTube studio where I host the live streams from DigiPath Digest, and this is where this device is gonna live. My previous tablet was just a small portable Lenovo tablet, which was good, but I needed a third-party software to connect it, and this is just gonna be a third screen. Let's do this. Let's go and unpack it in the studio, because I'm just gonna do a mess here, and I'll have to take it to the studio anyway. So let's go. So I loved my Wacom tablet, the huge one, but there also was a smaller one that I worked with a different group, and I learned that nobody's using those Wacom tablets anymore, and I wanted to buy it off of that company because they are just in the storage, and it was impossible. There was no way to buy something like a totally usable equipment from a company that's not using it anymore, which is so sad because they were really, really good tablets. Anyway, let's have a look at our guy. It's big. It doesn't say on the outside. I mean, the box is big. It's like, look how big it is. It's relatively big. It's difficult to take it out. Hope I don't damage this thing. Okay, one cardboard can go. This can go. Okay, here a little box. And here we have our pen display. Nice. It's packed in this plastic bag. Do I need scissors for that? Probably. Let me get the scissors. Okay, I've got the scissors. I also brought my computer because we have to check how it works after attaching. Okay, my friends, let's have a look at this. Oh, I didn't need the scissors after all. Congratulations. You don't need the scissors to open the package. It just opens like that. Oh my goodness, that's okay. So once we have it out of the package, it has this little stand here that we're gonna set up right now. How do we do it? I don't want to break it. I just bought it. Don't break it. I bet there is. Oh, okay. There's something. There's this little thingy that you pull, and this then goes up. Okay. And this, I don't know, for sure it has. Ah, wait. No. Huh. I'm puzzled because the letters are upside down. It must be like this. Oh, maybe it's just like that. Okay, let me check. Okay, I bet they talk about it in the instruction. For now, we just put it like that. So here it is, and this is how it looks from the front. Pretty nice. Very nice. Let me arrange my workspace. I don't have so much space here, but now I have my laptop. I have my big screen and I have this. So actually, it is almost as big as my big screen, which is amazing. We'll see. Main computer, which is this little laptop. This thing, and what else do we have here? We have this little stand for the pen. There's the pen. It just goes into this, like the standard. If you ever worked with a drawing tablet, this is how they come. A few cables. What is this cable? Just a normal electricity. I'm curious because annotating the PDFs while I'm explaining the abstract is part of the interactivity of this particular learning style. So it's important. When I was in my residency, I went to a conference. Actually, it was a summer school, residency, veterinary pathology summer school. So there was this one lecturer and she makes us, at some point she was explaining something and then she makes us get up and say, hey, look to your right and count to 3 and then go to that third person. And everybody does that and we have a few groups and there is going to be an assignment. And everybody's like, everybody was more like not prepared for this kind of activity at the we were expecting a front lecture where we just listen and she explains stuff with a PowerPoint or something like that. And then the other assignment she gave us was prepare a rhyming poem, and that was before ChatGPT, so we actually had to come up with this, about this particular lesion and then present it to everyone so that everyone can benefit from your mnemonic or from your poem. And we felt so uncomfortable after these lectures. We felt freaking exhausted and we were like, what is this? Like, part of the people were intrigued, part of the people were kind of semi-disgusted. Anyway, at the end of the lecture, she tells us, this was all on purpose. I study in depth adult education, and adults or not, kids, you come here and you have those 3 days, whatever the length of the summer school was, I think maybe a week, and this is what you're going to be dedicating to studying this. There's not going to be hours of homework after that. There's not going to be repetition and flashcards. You come here and you have to come out with as much knowledge as possible, and that's why all these exercises that I make you do that might have made you uncomfortable were meant to make this material more sticky in your brain. And that stuck with me because that's when I thought, yes, everybody's time is precious. And even if you're a student, if you're a resident, you're an adult learner, you're not going to school every day to have like reading every day for 2 hours. You get a new piece of information and you have to immediately make it actionable. So long story short, this is why I bought this tablet, so that I can make these learning experiences, whether these are webinars, lectures that I give, whatever you see online, so that it can be more interactive and I can bring it faster to you. So that's why we have normal electricity cable that's connected. There must be a way to connect it. And no, there must be more cables inside. Okay, we have this one. We have an HDMI. Maybe problematic because my laptop is already connected to this second monitor with an HDMI, so we might just swap the monitor for the HDMI. Another reason why I actually bought this tablet, other than pathology annotations, which I will show you at the end. I have slides, pathology slides that I will be annotating on it. We're gonna open them in QuPath, if I don't have to download QuPath again, because I downloaded it and then I undownloaded it. Okay, what do we have here? Just normal USB. I might need to use the instructions. Oh, and we have to We have to download the drivers. High tech, guys, drivers. That's okay. We can do it. Okay, so here is some something that looks like electricity. So there is another inspiration that I had that requires drawing on screen. And this guy actually does it with a mouse on the computer, at least in his earlier videos. Now he has over 1 million subscribers on his channel. And this channel, I might have mentioned it in other content. The channel is called Shamus Biology. This person, I don't know if his name is actually Shamus. I'm gonna link to his channel. He helped me pass my general pathology boards. I was trying to read in the book and like use the official resources that the exam committee recommends, and I was falling asleep. I was so falling asleep. I probably was sleep deprived in general, but I needed to figure out a way to actually learn this stuff, and going through this book was just so painful. It was really plowing through this material for me. And then I found his channel. I was basically searching the topics, the chapters. The book I was learning from was Robbins and Cortram General Pathology. Let me Google this. Yeah, Robbins Basic Pathology. Pathology Basis of Disease. If you want to fall asleep fast, try reading this one. Anyway, I found Shamus Biology, and he was drawing and basically explaining everything with drawings. That's why I love to draw and explain things in a visual way. I will have so many cables, guys. Somehow I'll organize it. Okay, where's the cable that I just showed you? Oh, I already connected it. Okay, we connected. Now we connect this one to here. Okay, so we have two more that are important, the HDMI and the USB. HDMI. So for sure, we need to connect it to the tablet first. This is HDMI here. Oh, it must fit. Okay, it fits. And then there's the USB. I assume they're both sided. It's not blue, it's white, so it's not this like third generation USB or whatever it's called. Should be good enough anyway. Okay, so we have it. The USB just goes to the USB. Ooh, I heard something. My computer is telling me that the device is ready. Okay, but I need to switch it on, right? Come on. Okay, no signal. Why there is no signal? Maybe I need this HDMI after all. Okay, I'm gonna detach from my big monitor here. We're gonna plug our friend HDMI friend in. There's there is a signal! So it's basically our third monitor now. We're good. Let's open a PDF. Okay, let's just move it here. So actually, I think you do need to download drivers. It's PD2200, so let's find PD2200. Okay, here is our friend. Tablet install. Common tablet mat driver. I'll just take the newest. Some are Mac, some are Linux. Our is just Windows, just easy Windows. Okay. It has these buttons here, and I was hoping that this would help me zoom in the screen. So definitely not a touch screen. I wish it was a touch screen. Okay, my friends, so this is what we're doing. Open with Nebo. By the way, if you don't know Nebo, it's a cool app for annotating PDFs. And you can open it. Is this working? Ah, okay. I just have to do it with the keyboard. So I can make it. Sorry, what happened right here? If I wanna. Okay, so we're doing both. We're doing mouse and the pen. That's okay. That's fine. So we have pen for drawing. And last time, let me find a cool paper that I actually want to do a podcast about. It was the one where they... Oh, something about... No, there was a paper about annotation. Yeah, it was leveraging immunofluorescence data to reduce pathologist annotation requirements, right? In lung tumor segmentation using deep learning. Figure out how I'm doing this. So I'm going to show you what kind of mess I have here. Like a lot of cables and stuff. So before I go live next time, I actually need to clean it up. I'm going to show you when it's actually cleaned up. But for now, let's see. So the first author is Hatef Maharabian, and this is a group that is dear to my heart because it's Gilead Sciences, it's QuPath. That's why I'm super happy, because I'm a toxicological pathologist. And we know that the main bottleneck in training robust tumor segmentation algorithms for non-small cell lung cancer, but actually for anything, is generating sufficient ground truth annotation. When a pathologist needs to annotate, they are sad because it's boring. Anyway, but if you have this beautiful tablet, then it's less boring. So is it working? I think it's working. So what they did here is basically, just to give you a recap from last DigiPath Digest, they leveraged a dataset low-cost accuracy PanCK-based annotation was used to pre-train the model and determine the minimum required size of expensive but highly accurate, we're happy, we're very highly accurate, pathologist annotation dataset. And this PanCK pre-training was compared to foundation models, which now are the new best thing, new kid on the block, foundation models. And then various architectures were explored for model backbone. Important thing, proper study design. Oh my goodness, proper study design cannot be emphasized enough. For any of those studies, for any studies in any type of science, but specifically for those image analysis new studies, proper study design is important. So attention unit architecture was trained using large PanCK-based annotation data set. And PanCK is a marker that stains epithelial cells. So basically, without annotating where the tumor is, you can have delineation, and they used here the method called immunofluorescence. They used immunofluorescence for PanCK, and then with this they had 68 samples with a total area of 10,000 millimeters square, and then they did fine-tuning using a small pathologist annotation data set, so more samples, but total area just 246 millimeters square. And this resulted in intersection over union of 82%. So intersection over union is how much the annotations overlapped. And they overlapped 82%. This is pretty good, I have to say. So the conclusion here is using PanCK pre-training provided better performance compared to foundation models. And that's going to be the case for quite some time, I think. Foundation models are supposed to be trained on those huge data sets, a lot of images, but then those manual models in this particular case that were pre-trained on PanCK annotation dataset was performing better. So this is our first use case, a DigiPath Digest. I highly recommend you to join on Friday, because we're gonna be reviewing some more papers. But let's have a look at an actual host-site image. In QuPath, you always have to say what that is, the bright field H&E. Do you know this guy? It's an adrenal from an opossum. I use it for annotations a lot in my videos, because you can demonstrate cool things here. Okay, so I navigate with my mouse still. Navigation
I guess let's just do a little annotation. This is the polygon. This is the brush tool, and you can brush and fill it in. I bet you can make it bigger. And by the way, I have a separate tutorial on this one, and I have not been annotating with it for quite some time. So if you need the tutorial on QuPath, I'm gonna link to it. I'm gonna link to it in the cards. Okay, let's make it smaller. Okay, we can move the image here in this thumbnail. Super handy, because when we annotate, let's just do the polygon and see how precise we can be with that. And if we wanted to be more precise, we just zoom in and are more precise. It has a good feel to it. It has a good papery feel, so it's nice. It's not like my not like my Lenovo tablet that is glassy like that. Has a nice feel to it. Let's do the brush. Brush is cool. We want the wand. It's gonna go and annotate the things that has similar pixel values. But then you can also do brush inside and clean it up. From the inside, from the outside. Pretty good if you have stuff that's homogeneous. If we want to delete all these guys, we can double click on it and delete object. So yeah, annotating whole slide images is, oh, you can move the annotation. You have to be careful not to move the annotation. But you double click and then it works. And you can use the brush, make it more precise. I say for the first impression, pretty good. I like the feel. Let's do the ultimate test, Microsoft Paint. I remember the first computer that we've got. I don't know what kind of Windows, 98 for sure, or I don't know if it was older. Definitely we had 98. So I loved Paint. I thought it was amazing that you can draw something on a screen. That was amazing. So let's use it for a mini tutorial. For example, digital pathology workflow. Okay, of today and of the future. And the future is coming very soon. So of today, what do we do today? Today we first make the slide. Second, we digitize, meaning we scan it. So this is analog, this is digital. What do we do then? We share, store, share and store, and this is happening in the image management system, image management software, IMS. And then we can view them. This is happening in the viewer. Sometimes IMS has a viewer, sometimes it's a separate software. So we had IMS, we have viewer, they could be together. Then, if we want to, we can do image analysis. And this is basically an image analysis software. It's called image analysis software, another software. So we have the whole histology lab workflow here. Then we digitize, then we have software number 1, software number 2, sometimes they can be together and we like that, and software number 4, and we're doing digital computational pathology. What's going to come in the future, and I will be watching these devices at the CAP conference in like 2 weeks, or depending when you're watching this video. It may be that I already have visited the conference, but basically we will get rid of this. It's gonna be direct to digital imaging. So we will have a scanner, but it's gonna be tissue scanner and not a slide scanner. It's gonna be a tissue scanner. And then we're gonna be doing more or less the same. We're gonna share, we're gonna store on-prem, this is a computer, or in the cloud, this is a cloud, and then we're gonna view and we're gonna do image analysis. I guess I need to work on my handwriting. I don't want to say greater, I want to smaller or equal AI, because AI is a lot of stuff, and probably this direct to imaging is gonna already involve some AI to create image. So this is a very, very confusing picture. So let's make it less confusing. We're gonna just do the future. And we're gonna say future is now. And we're gonna do the imaging. I don't know what's gonna go into tissue processing, because there's gonna be some kind of processing, some kind of staining, but it's gonna be, it's kind of more in vivo imaging or just like superficial fixation. I will find out about this for you and let you know. So we're gonna have imaging. No, let's call it differently. Imaging is gonna be acquisition, and then image acquisition, and then creation. What do I mean by that? Image direct to digital image acquisition. And this device that is going to be like a one sample scanner. I don't know how to draw it. I don't know. Let's say here you put a piece of tissue and here you image with something like an in vivo microscope. I don't know. I'm inventing. I will see this device. I mean, I saw it on the internet, but I don't know how to draw it. And the one I saw is by Muse Microscopy, so you can Google that. Direct to digital image acquisition. Then we're gonna have AI helping us create H and E like image. So the images are not exactly the same, are not exactly H and E equal, but are very similar, probably with the same surface stain eosin, and the retraining or the learning curve for the pathologist to actually learn how to interpret them is not that steep. So whenever I get the chance to actually learn the interpretation or the interpretation of these images, I'll let you know. And this is gonna be creation of this image, and then there's gonna be viewing. All right, no, I don't know. Let's stick to our other workflow. It's gonna be sharing, storing, viewing, and image analysis or other type of AI. And here, sharing, storing, there's gonna be diagnosis. This is gonna be viewing, probably on a computer. So yeah, this is a Microsoft Paint tutorial on my new tablet called Wacom, the digital pathology workflow of today and of the future. And we know that the future is now, my friends. So I can't wait to show you this device and let you know when and where it's going to be used. So if you are thinking of a device, a dedicated device for annotations, my friend right here, this tablet does a decent job. You're going to be seeing me using it more and more. So yeah, this is going to be my new best friend. You're going to be seeing him at the DigiPath Digest in YouTube videos, and I will work on my handwriting. And I talk to you in the next episode.